All right, everybody, welcome back. This is your girl, Shamika Nolan, and I am the host of the Can I Work Vibe. And today we have the beautiful, the gorgeous Candis Dyer with us today. And you know what? I cannot put a label on what she does or who she's with because, baby, I can only tell you that Candis Dyer with the community. All right.
Well, that's a good way to explain it. Yes, definitely. I work right now with the Human Solution International Texas chapter, which they're international, but I'm helping with their Texas chapter and on the board as well of that. And then I also work with Walk for Change and KM 420 Radio. And then I'm the host of Canna Corner as well.
So Candis, man, you're everywhere, but tell us where you started. Tell us where, you hit the gates at.
Yes, Cannabis Open Carry Walks would be where I started at. Just kind of got thrown a little bit into leadership over there. So, and then just progressed to wanting to do more than just get out on the street and walks, wanting to do other things too. So I kind of progressed from that to the Human Solution International. And right now we help people with court support if they're dealing with cannabis cases. We're working on a mentor program right now to help people who are getting released from prison get back into society and manage the money that they get from the Last Prisoner Project. We're teamed up with them. And so what they do is they give money to the prisoners but they're finding they need somebody to help them, show them what exactly they should do with that money, because a lot of them don't know that it's a bunch of money they get in their hand and then they go and they blow it and then they don't have a house to live in, or they go buy a car and then they don't have insurance or gas. So they just need somebody there with them, kind of like as a mentor, to show them how to use the phone. I mean, if you think you've been in prison for 10 years, you don't know nothing about, the phone and how it's basically a computer in your hands now, and everything is done on the phone. Right. So they're kind of at a loss, how to fill out a job application on the computer or just stuff like that.
Right. So reintegrating back into society, basically, those basic skills that we take for granted every day. When you're incarcerated for 10 years or plus, like you said, we lose touch with, what's going on the outside. So definitely. You mentioned with COCW that you were kind of, guided into a leadership position over there. What are some of the skills that you had, skills and talents that you had before coming into the industry that maybe, people saw that leadership in?
Well, I started online stuff with Jamberry, I guess, and that would have been helping me learn how to sell stuff online, basically, is what I was doing, selling nail wraps. And they taught you how to share on different social media sites and not be repetitive because they'll block you. And they taught you ways to get around that. Posting links, for instance, if you take the link out of your post, it'll be seen more better than if you leave that link, because they flag these things and if you say the same thing over and over again, they're going to call it spam. So if you change a couple words, so that taught me how to market. And then of course I got in with Anonymous. I guess that's where I really started, when the indigenous people were fighting for their land rights in the oil. I saw a lot of wrong stuff going on over there, and they were cutting down their live feeds. The government were cutting off their live feeds when they go live to show what was being done to them. They were spraying them with water in 0-degree weather. That's trying to kill people because that's not good. So from there, after that incident kind of died down a little bit, I got really passionate about cannabis. I met a guy named Jody who was involved with Anonymous too, and he was working with Corey Watkins at the time. And so I kind of jumped in with him and started helping Cannabis Open Carry Walks, doing different things. It really just putting together walks and getting out there and educating the public on the benefits of cannabis face to face on the street. And it just kind of like grew, like I say, I kind of got forced into a leadership position. A couple of our leaders, things happened and they left, and then so everybody's kind of looking, what do I do next? And I kind of just, we'll do this and do, and that's how it happened.
So yeah, Candice and I met each other at one of the walks, Raising Cane's in Arlington. I remember the intersection, but Cannabis Open Carry walks, they were boots to the ground and consistent and committed to change in the cannabis space and legalization.
Yes.
Advocated for all of that, everything. They were everywhere. So yes, my very first event into the space, immersing myself into this community, I meet Candis, y'all. I walked up on the grounds and she greeted me with open arms, and we've been hugging ever since, y'all.
Talk about divine appointments, I'm telling you. Everything happens for a reason.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so we're in the space now. We have developed these marketing skills from a previous job, right? And so now we're in it. How different is the nail rap social media space as opposed to the cannabis space as far as marketing for you?
Well, I'm not relying on the money. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not really making money. Like, you're not selling anything. You're selling, but you're selling rights, human rights, information. You're getting people to stop believing what they've been told their whole life and actually go, oh, well, and look into a different thing than they believed their whole life. And it's, you just got to be honest. You got to be, it's for me, I'm very passionate about it. It's helped me in so many ways. And I hear stories from so many different people that it's helped them. So I'm able to be passionate about it and get people to change their minds. It's not easy.
Yeah, we've been working at it. Shoot, girl, I want to say what, 5 years now, 4 or 5 years. It feels like forever. You know what I'm saying? It feels like that we just came. I don't know. We went to kindergarten together. It feels
right.
Like, so
yeah, learning everything new. It was all new, like paving the way.
And it's still new. I know I can say you are more than a pioneer in just the space itself as far as legalization, but it's absolutely on the web, social media arena. You have absolutely broken down some walls. You've led information, I know my direction for what can happen, what not can happen through your trial and error. You know what I'm saying? So I can remember, like getting the message, y'all, I'm in Facebook jail, I have to contact here, there, and everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So tell us how that was, because you even manipulated that. It's like, no, social media is not slowing down the message. Tell us tell us about that Underground Railroad, girl.
Yeah, well, it's good if you're on Facebook to have what they call, anonymous would call, a sock account, which is a second account, so that, and you want to get the same, you want to tell everybody, follow both of my accounts, because when one gets blocked, I'm going to be posting over here, and so they know that. Or I can't tell you how not to get blocked, because I get blocked all the time, but I can tell you how to get around it. Sometimes they'll block you on Facebook, but you can still message. So you can still individually message everybody, or get more social media platforms. Instagram I have, and then of course, I'm really enjoying the Relevant app now, and they want us there. They want us to come and educate the public over there. They're not like Facebook gonna block you or shut you off or ground you for posting about that.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. Shout out to Relevant, our proud sponsors, Canna Corner and Can I Work Vibe. Thank you guys for opening up this space for us. If you have not downloaded the app, Y'all need to come on with the come on now. It's the Relevant app, RELVNT, y'all. Apple and Google Play.
Yes.
All right, girl. So okay, so now we're we're not in CLCW anymore. We still okay. So where are we at now?
We're with the Human Solution International. I was actually working with them. They kind of sponsored COCW and took us under their wings, and made it to where we could use them as a nonprofit and all this stuff. Well, so I've already been working with them for like a year, 2 years, seeing how they work, what they do, learning the people, learning how trustworthy the people are, and just watching, you know what I mean? You got to watch people for a while. And I really liked what they were doing. And it's so much so that I went ahead and put in a submission to be on the board, and I got that. So I just had to come to this point where I have so much on my plate right now, and so many good things I need to be focused on, and I had to make a decision, and so I did. I made the decision to step away from leadership over at COCW and start a Texas chapter of the Human Solution International, and here we are.
So that is super dope. You are a leader. You know, you led through the first organization. Actually, I'm pretty sure that you will probably lead in the nail wrap biz. You know what I'm saying? You were probably up on that, that chain up there, top seller for the month or whatnot. And you that leadership absolutely saw through in the beginning stages, and you've owned it. It sounds like now, girl. It's like, okay, I'm here. And this is where I am, and we're going to keep moving forward, Candis. We love you for that. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
You are welcome.
Yeah, it's sometimes you just got to do it. Everything that I say yes to, I'm nervous as hell about doing. But you just say yes and you do it. And I've had to push myself into a lot of things I didn't really want to do, but because I was scared and nervous and afraid what was going to happen, what are people going to think? Right. And I just had to push through that and say, you know what, forget what they think. I really care about this. I really care that people are dying from not being able to get the proper medicine that they need, and are having to move out of a state they were at their whole life to get this medicine. And it's just passion drives you.
Mm-hmm. It really does, and there's nothing wrong with having a passion either. Passion takes focus, and sometimes I think people don't understand when they're not getting that focus, how deep that passion is, so always focus on your passion. I think commit to yourself. If this is something that you want, dive into it. Actually, Candis, when you got started, how was Facebook your first platform that you got started on with social media? Say somebody else started today.
Yes, Facebook was my starting point because there were so many of the anonymous people that I worked with. Anonymous, what they are, they're activists, but they are behind a mask. So there's one of many people. So we all, you can't attack one person. You can't you can bring down one person, sorry, but you can't attack all of us and bring all of us down and shut us all up. So that's kind of how Anonymous is, and all that, they were all on Facebook, and I met that community. I met and I seen all the great things they were doing and getting done. And I just wanted to help too. And so I found a niche that I was good at and went and started helping. But yeah, Facebook is my beginning platform.
Were there any kind of legal challenges that you faced coming into the space or since being in the space? We talked a little bit about, Facebook jail. With being in the space, was there anything that you had to, just basically, was there anything that you had to cross over, or jump over in order to make it this far?
I guess the most difficult thing is being scared of what might happen if I step out and I say, I smoke cannabis. Like, I've got a child I've got to worry about, I've got a family, and uh, you do hear about people start stirring trouble, and the police, trying to take you down in whatever way they can to get you to be quiet. And so that was the hardest. I just, little by little, at first I'd come out, oh yeah, I used to smoke cannabis, and then I smoked cannabis, and then taking my daughter, watching her learning everything, and seeing how amazing this plant is and how much it helps your mom, and I was like, I can't not tell her about this stuff, like, just because it's taboo, and and you shouldn't be talking to your kids about weed. No bull. They need to know about it. They need to know about everything that goes on. You know what I mean? You don't want to hide them from anything. You want to educate them with the truth. And so that would be the hardest thing, coming out as a mom. But I'm fine. Almost 5 years.
There you go. So that too shall pass. So it's okay to have. So it sounds like, you're saying, my son was, of course, older, but you had a little one. So for those women that are thinking, or fathers that are thinking about getting in the space and have little ones and don't quite know how to navigate that conversation, what would you tell them? Because we know it's going to pass, but to just do it, or get a pamphlet, or watch a Can of Corner episode, what would be a good introduction for the kiddos?
Well, I guess you start by saying every parent is different in the way they teach their kids. I've never sheltered my daughter from anything, even when it comes to online predators. I can't watch over her phone 24/7. So she knew about the bad people that were out there that will send private part pictures and all this stuff, and to tell mama about it if it ever happens. And a lot of people will, why would you tell your daughter that? Well, because it's going to happen to her, and she needs to know what to do when it does. And so I've always been an out blunt kind of, this is, with my kids, I've never really sheltered them from anything. And she basically, I tell her, do not even believe what I say. Like, I may be wrong. Go, if somebody tells you something, go research for yourself. And she watched me. They watch your actions. They watch what you do. And she seen how passionate I was about it. And she watched and seen the change I was on pharmaceuticals, and now, and seeing how I'm a much better mom now. I guess just watching it, she learned, oh yeah, this is and she'll be like, oh, they're telling me in school today, they were putting these glasses on me and saying it's like being drunk when you're smoking. She'll come home to me and she'll be like, that's such bullshit. like, I know you don't act like that. Like, it doesn't do that. But yeah, just guide them, and they're smart, and find different things on the internet. There are books, there's all kinds of people talking about it. Alexis Bortel was a major way that I could show my daughter how good it is, that she's been seizure free, and she had to move, and she used to live here in Texas. So I told her the whole story about Alexis and how she hasn't had one seizure since she's moved, but unfortunately she had to move from her home state, away from all her family and friends, to get to where she's healthy now. And she was around her age too. So find things on the internet. You can contact me and I'll send you some information to send them, or your parent, your kids, how to do it.
Right. So your journey has been very interesting, to say the least, in the last, 5 years. What are some of the skills and talents that you picked up in this journey thus far?
it's kind of funny you asked me that, and I never really think about anything that I do as a skill or talent. like like it's just communication. Like I guess that would be one. Communication, being able to talk to people, tell them, what I went through. And not only, and that's why I started Canna Corner, not only my story, but everyone else's story too, because they may not be able to relate to it. And that's what we have to do. We have to get them to relate. They're not going to change their mind until it comes right on their doorstep. You know what I mean? As long as it's that person over there, they're not even caring. They're not even looking at it. But you tell them, oh, well, it's saving people with seizures. And then that's happened to us once. There was a cop in Cleburne that told us that we had to leave an area, and we did, but she apologized later because she knew that she was in the wrong. But we had talked to her and told her about how it's stopping seizures, and her grandchild has seizures. And I told her, just go look it up. Go look up endocannabinoid system. Go look up, the seizure disorders and how cannabis is helping. And, when you get them to relate to their family, their friends, it becomes part of their lives, then they're going to go and they're going to look.
So speaking of communication, and I totally agree with you, girl, you got it like blicked. We are very new on the Relevant app. You were on there before myself, but you have got this app licked, it seems like to me, girl. So let's talk about the Relevant app a little bit. I got a couple of questions. Maybe
Gotcha.
some of our listeners will have some questions. They can put them in the chat. Y'all put them in the chat. We'll respond to them. One of my questions is sharing. How do I share Canna Corner's content on Canna Works chat?
Right. I don't think that we can do that right now. I think that we can tell people to go there and join the vibe, but the content, but remember this app is always evolving. Like they want us to give the feedback about the glitches going on so that they can fix it. And they want us to know what we want about the app. That's the great thing. We get to build this app. Like they're asking for our feedback. Right now, at the moment, you can only share one picture at a time, but I know that they were telling me that they're fixing to make it to where we can share a bulk of pictures at one time. So yeah, I don't believe that you can share from like, can I work over to right now that I know of. I may be wrong, but I don't think you can right now. But you can send people to that vibe and say, go look, they got great information over there, go hit them up.
And how we send people to each other's vibe, would that be the invite button on your page, right? On your vibe, is that what you're speaking of? The little on the right-hand side, I believe, right?
Right, yeah, the right top, it says, and then it goes invite friends, and you click, and you can either copy the link or you can send it to Facebook or whatever it may be.
So what is we're in beta, Relevant is in beta, so we do have that opportunity to kind of mold it a little bit. I know right now with the update, it's not available for Android for any of you folks out there, so I'm not able to pin right now. And just my little time being on there and pinning, I'm like missing my little pin every day.
Yes, I know. I said the same thing. I'm like, well, I can't. And then Wendy's like, well, there's an announcement thing. And I'm like, okay, well, I said it might be an Android thing because I noticed that they do the Apple first and then the Android. So, but they did tell me they are working on getting our announcements done. By I believe the end of the week, ours should be done.
Announcements. What is that?
But now we have calendars that we didn't have before that only Apple had. Did you notice your calendar that you got? You can schedule a appointment or a live and let people know about it.
On Relevant?
Yes.
Come on,
like,
guys,
okay.
we're learning something new.
I'm going to show you.
Everybody.
Yes. You click the Relevant app. And so this is what I've been doing instead of announcements. I've been like announcing that I'm going to go live at such and such time. And you click your thing, and at the very bottom, you're going to see the picture, the video, the gift, the sticker, and then there's a calendar. And then you click the calendar and it lets you event image, load your image up there, the name of the event you're having, the description of it. So if you're going to go live in say 2 hours, or if you already know you're going to go live on Monday, then you can just set up that and it will make an event on your relevant page.
I see it. All right, y'all, take a look. You see on the left-hand side, big green microphone, go live. Next is the image icon, video icon, gift icon. And that's I think that's Relevant's little special icon, gift icon, emojis.
Right.
And then calendar, and that's where you can schedule your events, y'all.
Yes. And so that's what I've been using in the time being, instead of creating the announcement like I normally say, I'm going to go live and blah, blah, blah. And then I pin that for a 24-hour announcement. So everybody sees that when they first come in, then I'm going to go live.
Mhm.
So what I've done is kind of switch over back to the calendar and use that for now, which probably I'll continue to use it too later, but your chat topics will be coming soon again. I promise. They are working on it.
Okay, good deal. That's good to know, because I think that I said, it comes up at the top of the screen if I'm not mistaken, those events, right? I'm looking at it now, and at one point in time, there was like a pinkish banner across, and I believe it was the
Right.
Wendy of Ed show. So when you
Yes.
schedule your events in that event planner, in that calendar, it shows up on the home screen.
Right. Yes. And it lets you know there's going to be an event. Yes.
I love that one. I love that. Yeah, I like
and that way everybody can see there's going to be an event over there, not just, you know,
just not
people
just
in your group, I believe.
Right, right. Okay, so yeah, I like that a lot, because that, it actually is a great reminder for me too, you know?
Yes.
And so I forget, or say I'm gonna, I get the reminder, I get the little emails, you know, or the inboxes, and like, okay, I'm gonna, you know, 7:30, I gotta be there, and it's 8:30. I'm like, oh shit, damn, you know, I done forgot. So, but to see this, you know, see that on here, it's definitely, that's a good, I love that on the platform. Even for it to be connected to our Gmail would be, our Google calendars would be, you know, amazing for it to be on.
Right.
I know that I also asked about scheduling content as opposed to doing it, you know, manually one at a time, like you were talking about. And they said that they were going to be looking at that as well. So
Heck yeah.
New and interesting stuff is coming out.
And see, that's what's so awesome. I mean, how many apps that you went and downloaded for free are willing to listen to what you want? You know what I mean? Yeah, they have these little things where you can put, oh, this is a great app, but do they actually listen? Do they actually try to fix the problem? Not many that I know.
Right. This is definitely a consumer app. You know, they're listening to us. We're nobody special. You know, we're not special. We have an appreciation for, you know, content, you know, number one, and the communication. And we're in an industry that, you know, really restricts that for us right now. So, you know, coming on over and providing this, or them being open to say, hey, we want to know what you guys think too about it. Like all of this back office stuff is because of you guys. We want to know. That's amazing, because I don't think too many other folks are really listening to what we got to say about, you know, their app.
Right. And I mean, who knows the most about it? Us. We're the ones that use the app. We're the ones that are trying to share our information. So, you know, it's really a win-win for both of us. They are good at building this app, and we can let them know, you know, what we think they should fix or twerk or figure out to make it a little easier and better on us.
Yeah, yeah. I love that they're listening to the social media factor. You know what I'm saying? It's being able for it to be user friendly. The scheduling is going to be super dope. You know, I think I love the pinning concept. It's like a cross between Twitter and Clubhouse. You know,
right?
That's the vibe that I get, you know, from it. But you don't need an invite, y'all, to get onto the Relevant app. You just go in and vibe. All right. So how do you schedule? You are doing the Inform Texas, you're doing the Relevant app, you're doing Canna Corner. You are in everything social media.
I am still in the old school calendar days. Like I write everything on my calendar. What? And every day I get up in the morning and I say, okay, I got this, and I scratch it off as I do it. That is honest to God truth. I am still in the old school days when it comes to scheduling, because it's easier for me to wake up in the morning and I'm a visual learner. And so to see my calendar, say this is what I need to do today, it just puts my mind at ease. I not feel like I'm forgetting things. I get it done. It works for me. So
And that's what matters, baby, because you're doing it with that. I'm really surprised though, old school. I'm thinking that girl, you got some sort of, Tony Stark set up back
no,
there.
no. No, I'm definitely, I never did any computer courses. I'm just now learning Google Docs and stuff like that with the Human Solution International. I never really knew about any of that. So I'm kind of learning right along with you on all that technical stuff.
Come on, girl, let's go. All right, so give us some tips and tricks. So would you say that Facebook is your jam?
I hate Facebook, but it's got the people I need to reach. Like they've got the numbers. And so it's a necessary evil. I totally understand. I'm not telling anybody to delete Facebook. Like there's your numbers, hopefully we'll get relevant up to that point to where we can all say, you know what, freedom of speech, we're done with your app because we're giving them money by staying over there.
Right.
But it's not at that point yet. And till then, it's a necessary evil. You need Facebook, but I just try to find other ways. Like Instagram's still ran by Facebook, so they kind of tagged. I hear a lot of times that people get banned from there too. I haven't yet, but knock on wood. I'm like.
What are some of the functions? What are maybe some of the secret functions on Facebook to help social media managers life a little easier when it comes to posting and scheduling on Facebook?
The messenger. Okay, so here's my little secret. I've got several people in the Human Solution International Texas chapter. So what I do is I make a group chat with everybody in the Human Solution International Texas chapter. And so if we have a new thing coming up that they need to know about, that I'm needing their help, or if there's an event coming up, or if they have something to ask me, we all just chat in that group chat. That's how we get all of our minds in one place, like in one sync. And so if I have something I need the team to share, then I'll put it in that chat and say, please, y'all help me share this. And then they'll share it around to their people too. So it's like you're able to work in sync with everybody, and they're all on the same page, and they all know it in real time. And it's just good to keep people working together and on the same page, that messenger app.
Okay, cool, girl. What are some of the tips and tricks that you got for growing a page? Because COCW, it grew exponentially in a short amount of time. How did y'all do that? And I know that you were a key factor with that.
Share, everybody share it. Like, and Facebook's blacked that page out. So it really wasn't easy to get it up that high, but we had flyers. We were constantly doing walks on the street. So everybody in the city of Texas pretty much had flyers to hand out and get people to go to the page, and a mass amount of telling people to go there and showing them how to get there and sharing the direct link. And just, we were honest. We were boots on the ground people who did what we said we were going to do. Like, and so people wanted to get involved with that. We weren't taking any money from anybody. We weren't selling anything. We just wanted boots on the ground to help spread the word. And that became something that people wanted to get involved in.
Here you are. Here you are. So how does your day look, Candis? We're sitting here and, I'm learning more about you even after 5 years just with this conversation. But, what we know is, you being a mom and an educator, a leader in not only the cannabis community, but your community overall, a wife. You're wearing all these hats. How does your day look? How does a typical day for Captain Candis look, and how do you practice self-care?
Oh my God, that's a good one. I need to learn to do that more probably. I tell people that I normally run around like a chicken with my head cut off until about 5 o'clock, because I get up in the morning, I wake Andrea up, I get her to school, I go back to bed for a minute, I get back up, I take Jason to work, then I come back home and it's time to get Andrea from school again. So then, and then now is my free time, and then I can work with y'all. And it's a lot on my family. My family get aggravated. It means I put the phone down, but I got to answer this. And so having a good support system and a family that understands and is good too. They understand what I do. And my personality, I'm really hyper and always thinking like the next thing to do. So it helps me to focus on doing stuff all day. Like, it helps me. This is what I got to do. It keeps me grounded and knowing, I don't have so much time to sit and think about my problems and my mental health issues. And, I help throwing myself and helping others out is a way that I get through my mental illness. And so it helps me. It helps me to help other people, kind of.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, so you mentioned mental illness. A lot of us in the community do suffer from some form or fashion or another of a mental health issue. And that you just added another hat, like, okay, you got your cape, girl, you got your staff, whatever, bow down, that's how I feel right now.
Oh, wow.
What products and services do you and or the organizations that you work with offer the community?
Well, right now we are working with if somebody is dealing with a court case and they need to know how to fight it. Like, let's say they got caught with a couple grams of weed and their state is still prosecuting them, even though it's a ticketable offense. People don't realize people are still going to jail for this, even in places that it's legal. If the feds come in, then they can still go to jail for it. So that's where we're kind of focusing our time on right now. Is if anybody is in trouble with that, they can contact us. Joe Grumbine, which is the main person of the Human Solution International, actually fought his own case. And so he took that program from fighting his own case and wrote it out so that the average person can come and learn how to fight their case. So we help them to fight their case. Some cases we raise money for a lawyer if they need it. And then when they get out, when they get out, the mentor program we're helping with right now. So that just a bunch of things we're involved in right at the moment.
So tell us a little bit more about, you mentioned earlier the Last Prisoner Project that you guys are working in partnership with the court support and the mentorship. Tell us a little bit about Last Prisoner Project and how you guys married each other.
Craig Cecil just got out of prison. We've been fighting. He would call Joe on his show every week and talk on the Cup of Joe show from prison. And so when he got pardoned by Trump and he came out, him and Joe were already really good friends, and he became the co-host of Cup of Joe. And he is actually hired on by the Last Prisoner Project. And so Craig Cecil is a part of Last Prisoner Project, which is a part of the Human Solution International. And so we're able to work together.
Oh, that is so cool. So how do we reach out to you guys when we need some help? How do we reach out for assistance?
THSINTL.org.
And we're going to put that in the chat down in the bottom for you guys.
Awesome.
All right, good deal, girl. How can we find you, Candis? We got Canna Corner. How do we find Canna Corner? How do we find where you at?
I am on Facebook on the Candis Dyer Facebook page. That was another tip there, by the way. If Facebook's always banning you from posting, if you make a page, normally they won't ban you. So that was another trick I did. I made a Candis Dyer page, not just a profile. And that's where Canna Corner is. at the moment. And then I also have it on Relevant, of course. I go live from Relevant every Monday at 7, audio version, and then you can catch the live version on Facebook every Monday at 7. And then it gets replayed on WJAE 420 radio on Wednesdays at 2, and then KM 420 radio on Sundays at 2. And then my YouTube channel, Canna Corner, you can find.
Look at there. We got them on YouTube, Facebook. We got some FM going on, you guys. Make sure you go to Facebook and you follow Candis Dyer at CANDISDYER, correcto?
Yes, CANDISDYER. And then also, I would recommend that everybody listening today go to Weedipedia and like every one of those groups under Weedipedia, because that's our cannabis business or our cannabis community that Wendy Love Edge and Angela Edge are building up right now. So let's go like all those groups.
Let's do that, y'all. Shout out to Wendy out there. Thank you so much for the introduction. Weedipedia, y'all. Head there right now. Click on everybody's page. All right, y'all. It has been amazing. Thank you so much again, Candis, for coming out and vibing with us. We like to thank Relevant for sponsoring this vibe, and we also want to thank our partner, Puff and Pretty, for our giveaway. Guys, if you haven't signed up or entered for our giveaway, please do that. Download the Relevant app, follow Can I Work Vibe, and you are in it like planned. All right? Find Candis on Facebook, y'all, at Canna Corner on YouTube. And thank you, guys. We'll see you again next time. Bye.
Thank you very much.